everyone, it's your girl Sheilah Gashumba, the brand ambassador of Kuku. So many people have been asking me in the comment section of my Facebook page about the Kuku Feedmill. Well, I decided to give you guys a tour, and today I'm seated right next to a gentleman who knows all about the Kuku Feedmill.
Hello viewers, my name is Francis Gachunga. I'm the Feedmill manager, and I'm also the head of sales of feeds as one of the Kuku portfolios of HMH Rainbow. Kuku Feedmill is part of the semi-integrated farm of HMH Rainbow, where we make feeds for our own farms and for commercial sales outside there in the market.
So one of the questions that I wanted to ask, what makes your Kuku feed have a distinctive taste that's different from any other, feed mills that Uganda has?
We make feeds that is used to grow the birds in our own farms. And you'll always find that our chicken, all our feed, end up having a distinct taste at the end of it. The feed that we make is made from plant-based raw materials. We don't use any animal protein. And when I talk about animal protein, I'm talking about fish meal, I'm talking about bone meal, I'm talking about blood meal. Science has shown that at the end of the day, if you feed your birds with feed that has been made with animal-based proteins, you are going to end up having an aftertaste that comes, especially fish meal, which can persist in the chicken itself. You still feel back at of your bird that is something itching like the smell of a fish. So for us, as a policy, we agreed we are going to be using only plant-based raw materials, and that differentiates us with almost everybody else who is making any feed in the whole of Uganda, because most of the people are using us. So the second point is that we don't use byproducts. We don't use maize bran, we don't use rice bran, we don't use pollard, we don't use all those other byproducts, which also can contribute, because these are byproducts. When you look at, for example, for maize and you remove the bran on top of it, the taste of a bran and taste of maize is quite different. So all these contribute to the end product of our feed, your Kuku feeds, which translates also to the good taste that comes out from the Kuku chicken. That is the main difference.
So what do you use?
What we use in making of the feed, we are using maize, which is grown by our farmers here in Uganda. We use soya cake and sunflower cake from the three main companies that produce this. That is Mokwano, that is Mount Meru, who are in River, and Agri-Exim, which is in Gayaza Road. And the cake that we are buying, still we are helping farmers, because the farmers sell the seeds to those people, they process, they remove the oil, and they sell as the cake. Since we have the market, we are the market of the soya cake, backwards the farmers are benefiting from this. But when it comes to issues of maize, it's direct. We buy from farmers here in Uganda. We clean, we dry the maize, and we store it for processing. Starting with the purchasing of feed, we buy our raw materials, all of them except the feed additives from here in Uganda, specifically maize, which we buy from farmers, and then we buy soya cake and sunflower cake, and which we bring in and we keep in our stores here. The only item that we import is feed additives, which is called the macro packs, which we use for fortifying or for mixing with the other macro ingredients I've just mentioned about. We keep them in our stores, and then from there, the production process starts. The production process starts, number one, with batching, where we do the batching of the feeds. Ours is batch processing. We mix and we weigh all the raw materials that are required, except the macro ingredients. After that, we mill to reduce the particle size. And when you have milled the maize, soya, sunflower mix, it is mixed in a mixer with the feed additives. The feed additives are the ones which have got the vitamins, have got the minerals, and the like. After mixing, the product is ready actually for consumption. It's what we call a mash. We can call it your Kuku feed mash. However, we don't feed our birds with the mash. From the mixing, it is kept in the silo, after which it is transferred to the pellet mill, where the mash is pelleted. What is pelleting? Pelleting in a layman's language is cooking. We do heat treatment of the feed at temperatures between 70 and 75 degrees centigrade, and the product is formed to pellets or crumbles. What is the difference between crumbles and pellets? Crumbles are pellets which are reduced in particle size for small birds which are in the starter period. That means that the small ones which are just between 0 and 14 days. After this has been done, the product now is ready for consumption. We just remove it, take it to the packing line, where the product is packed into 25 and 50 kilogram bags for commercial feeds. After all this is done here in the feed mill, the feed is transported to our warehouse, which is a distribution center in Bukoto, next to Kabira Country Club in Kira Road, where we have a store of about 80 metric tons. And this is where we distribute the feeds to our own shops and also through our distributors to the ultimate farmers outside there. It is your Kuku feeds. Grow fast, grow strong. Thank you.
My name's Neftal Maluleke. I come from South Africa. I'm the manager of Farm 3 HMH. The unique thing about us, HMH Rainbow, with other farms, is we are the biggest producer of broiler chicken in Uganda, and we are the only company with controlled environment houses. Each unit can put about 40,000 chickens, and at the moment we've got 4 farms, and there's another 5th farm coming within this year. Our first farm is Farm 1, which is a manual with rudimentary system, and they've got a capacity of 23,000 chickens per unit, and that is about 13 chickens per square meter. And then our Farm 2, Farm 3 and Farm 4 are composed of controlled environment houses, 120 meters long, 15 meters wide, and they can carry up to 41,000 chickens, and that is about 20 to 23 chickens per square meter. In a broiler farm, we have to practice biosecurity 100% without compromising in anything. The first step is to shower in, and then we put into a company uniform, and we put on boots. When we go into a chicken house, we have to dip our feet. There is actually a foot dip there, 2 of them, one outside and one in. We have to dip our feet, and then it's then that we can enter inside the house. So these houses have got a controller that actually controls the temperatures, it controls the oxygen in the house and carbon dioxide, and it controls the light intensity and the light switching on and off. After foot dip, we go inside a house where we have feed and water. The feed and water should always be readily available. We feed ad libitum, which means we don't limit feed. The chickens should always have feed and water. Water and feed should actually just be 1 meter away from each other, and the feeder lines are red in color and the water lines are yellow in color. Those are the colors that a chicken can actually see. Anything other than that, it's actually a struggle for the chicken to see the color. So what they do in the nipple, they just press it and the water will come, and the feed is actually readily available. They just go in and pick. So when the chicks are young, like we have here in the farm, we should actually have feed supplements. We have to put extra feeder trays, and then we also put a brown paper on the ground. We put feed so that it's easy for the chicken to access feed anytime they want. So in each farm, we practice a system called all in, all out. Simply meaning of the 4 houses in each farm, we have to put the chicks within a week per farm. And when we catch it per week. So what happens here is we avoid multi-stage, because if you put big chickens and small chicks in one farm, the bacterial count in bigger chickens are more, and they can actually affect the smaller chicks and they can eventually die. And at this stage, we only switch off the light 1 hour. And then the rest of the time, the lights should be on to a period of 7 days. And after 7 days, our chicks should be weighing at least 160 grams. And then from there on, we can switch the lights longer. And then from there on, then they can actually gain without us having to press them. And this house has got 3 stages of lights. There is 20 lakhs, 15 and 5. So we have to put full lakhs at a young age, which is 20, and we keep on reducing the lights on a weekly basis so the chicken can actually relax and then can gain the weight without us stressing the chicken. We also have 3 phases of feeding. The first stage for the first 2 weeks is starter crumbles. The starter crumbles will go for 2 weeks, and then from there on we go to grower pellets and finisher pellets. After 2 weeks we go to grower pellets for the period of 10 days, and then another last 10 days of production, then we do finisher pellets. Our feeds are purely organic. We do not give any organic promoters to our chickens, and we don't give any antibiotics to actually promote them to grow. We believe in practicing biosecurity to prevent diseases from attacking our chickens, and we produce our own feeds. That's what makes us to be sure that our feed is purely organic. There is no additions of any growth promoters. The feed that we use, we actually get a formula from experts that actually tells us what to put in our feed, and this actually makes our chicken to only grow in just 5 weeks. So if I were to compare our broiler chicken with a local chicken will take longer to grow. It can actually take 3 to about 5 months to even a year to grow, while here in our houses we only get a big chicken from 1.7 to about 2 kg in only 35 days.